What's up, Saints and Aints? Welcome back to season 2 of the Music and Makeup podcast. I'm welcoming you all back to a new year. It is 2025, and I thought, what better way to kick this year, this season off with a getting to know me episode while we do a little get ready with me. I kind of just started this kind of renegade light and just, kind of just jumped out there and just never kind of told anyone like what this was, what the vision is, who I am, and how I arrived to this. So I'm going to do my makeup. I'm going to give y'all a little info about me. We're going to listen to a little bit of music. All the products that I'm using today are going to be tagged in the description box. Anyone that I mentioned today is also their pages or their social media will also be in the description box. So without further ado, let's get into it, Saints and Aints. So let's jump into some of these questions. A lot of these questions are things that people have just asked me frequently, things that I've seen in the comments, and I'm just going to take this time to answer it all. All right, so one of the first questions I get, the most frequent question, because there's always so much confusion when people land here, is what in the world is this channel about? This really comes from a comment that I got recently. They praised my review of Rich Ass Haitian, but they were very confused about like what makeup had to do with this, and I get it. So like the title of this channel, this is all about music and makeup. Now, how do these two things go together? For me, I have a deep, deep, deep love for music. Part of getting ready and doing my makeup is having like the very perfect playlist. I cannot get ready in silence. Never. I always have some kind of music or something going. I think most of the ladies can relate. I decided, why not put those two things together, talk about the music that I love, share really like what I'm listening to at this vanity, and also like expose people like to new music. And I was doing a few episodes of music history or artists that I loved that weren't new, and we'll probably get back to that more this season. But that was the purpose of that, just to share music while doing my makeup. What is your dream job? Baby, I don't dream of labor. What I do dream of is a lifestyle. When I was younger, I just dreamt of, I don't know, dressing and resting. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I used to watch Dynasty when I was little, and Diane Carroll, her character, like that's what I wanted to do. And I'm sure she had businesses and stuff like that. I wanted to just have money and be able to travel and just do whatever it is I wanted when I wanted. And that is whatever job that is, that's the dream. Now, I will tell y'all a secret. I have never been out of the country. I hope to change that this year. But my favorite place to travel thus far is LA. California in general, but LA is my favorite place to go. The vibe out there is just like a lot more relaxed. I know people talk a lot about folks being fake or whatever it is, but I just find the vibe is a lot more relaxed in here. It's like a bit of a slower, chill pace. I swear, I feel like don't nobody be working because people be out and about all day. Like a place I go for like a little reset, just time to like recalibrate myself. And I always come back feeling very refreshed, anew, if you will, and more relaxed. What is your favorite food? I love, love, love Korean barbecue. Some of the best ones are in Annandale and Springfield. That's where I always recommend people go when they come up here. My favorite is Goji Friends. The meat is of quality. Service is really good. They get you in and out. They have excellent banchan. This is extremely hard for me because as much as I am a music lover, I'm also a movie lover. And this is so hard to narrow down. I like anything made by Spike Lee and Martin Scorsese. But if I had to pick two, it would be Clockers, and She's Gotta Have It, of course. And for Martin Scorsese, Goodfellas and Casino. Now, just like I love music and I love movies, I love to read too, and I have too many to name, but off the top of my head, Make Me Wanna Holler by Nathan McCall, Blacker Than Berry by Wallace Thurman, and Push by Sapphire. And Push, if you all remember, was eventually made into the movie Precious. All three of these books came into my life at like a pivotal time. Makes Me Wanna Holler came when I was in middle school. I think I was in the 7th grade when that was released. And that book was just so important to me, even though this was from a male perspective. It was a really good lesson to me about making choices and how your choices can have like real consequences that you really don't even intend. Blacker Than Berry came at a time where I really was struggling with my complexion and trying to feel good in my skin. That's why when people start talking about being natural and all, y'all got to give people a space to feel good in their natural skin. And like the ending to that story really empowered me and put the battery in my back, like not to feel so bad about myself, to take myself out of these spaces with these people that were clearly colorist. So that was one of the lessons in that book. And Push by Sapphire, it was just sad. I don't know why I chose to read that. Well, no, I think I know why I chose that book. I think I identify with the character with Precious getting like picked on and not being seen as beautiful, because that was pretty much my villain origin story in middle school, or what have you, so to speak. She also struggled with her skin complexion. So that's probably why I really leaned into that book, because Precious also was struggling with her complexion. It's a really good book. It's certainly a heavy read. Number one favorite genre of music, of course, is hip hop. Very, 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 very close second is R&B, particularly from the 70s through the 90s, like, you know, Anita Baker, Phyllis Hyman. That's more type of my vibe, R&B wise. But yes, I know, contrary to popular belief, I don't just listen to all rap all day. Who is your favorite artist slash group? For R&B, my favorite artist is Phyllis Hyman. Aside from Phyllis's amazing vocal talent, when I talk about glamorous women, glamorous and stylish women, Phyllis Hyman is like up there, top 5. A glamorous queen. Hip hop wise, I have two, is Boldy James and Rock Marciano are two of my favorites. I call them old reliables because I know whatever they put out, it's going to be good, it's going to be right, it's going to be correct. The bars are going to be immaculate. I love a good beat tape. Rapper's Best Friend by Alchemist, Special Herbs, MF Doom, Budgie's Holy Ghost Zone, and Panty Soaker series are some of my favorites. Sometimes I don't need any words. I just need good like background, quiet music, especially when I'm working. But sometimes a really good beat goes to the wrong person, and I just don't care to hear the words, but the beat is slapping. For instance, that new song by Ice Spice, I do not care for her rhyming over it, but the beat sampling Little Star by Corinne Bailey Rae, I would be fine if he just sold the instrumental of that song and kept her off of it. Again, no diss, it's just sometimes that is the way that I prefer to consume my music. But yeah, to the producers, I really encourage y'all. I'm sure there's some kind of reason for why it doesn't get done most, but yeah, I encourage y'all, please come out with the instrumental version. I'm getting it. I'll tell you when you can really use a beat tape, you know, as a grown-up. Make it your dinner party music, because sometimes the words are a little bit too much for the audience or the environment that you're in. But if you just play the instrumental. I don't know how I feel about revealing this because people get a little squirrely. Minnesota by Lil Yachty. I won't be explaining any further. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Again, I'm always gonna have multiples. I don't have no absolutes when it comes to stuff like this. If I had to listen to one album for the rest of my life, there's a couple contenders, let's just say that. Supreme Clientele by Ghostface Killah. I remember when that album came out, I believe it's coming up too on its 25th anniversary. Who remember going to Sam Goody in Charleston, South Carolina? This is when I was going to Johnson and Wales. And this is my first time, like, I wrote a bad check. I had no money. I was a poor college student. And I was like, yeah, I'll just wait till I get some money or ask my parents, whatever the case is gonna be. But I wrote a check. And that day I bought Supreme Clientele and like Water for Chocolate. Another album that I could listen to like for the rest of my life. We're also from Ghostface Killer, Bulletproof Wallets. One of the songs that I like best from off of that album is The Forest, and that's where Ghostface takes all of the cartoon characters and incorporates them in a story, in a rhyme. One of my favorite songs on there. Flowers was another song that was pretty hot. And y'all know it's like 2 versions of that song. That's the one with Method Man and Superb. We also had this song with Carl Thomas, Never Be the Same Again. I love that shit. And of course, you know, Ghost and Rago give us a good story. So they had the song The Hilton. It's just one of my favorite albums. Another one I could probably play for the rest of my life is Lovers Rock by Sade. Lovers Rock is the Sade album that I always go back to. King of Sorrow is my favorite song from off of that album. That was one of the most beautifully written and sung songs. Okay, so another one that I could listen to for the rest of my life is Marcialago. That album is just, to me, perfect from top to bottom. My favorite songs from off there is Choosing Fees, Molly Ringwald, and Tom Chambers. I loved hearing him and Knowledge the Pirate do that song live, especially when you get that beat flip and Knowledge comes on the beat. All right, so I'm gonna answer this in 2 parts because to me, festivals and concerts are like 2 different animals. So my favorite festival, Smokers Club Fest. I will continue to beg for them to bring this music festival back because it was one of the most well put together festivals I've been to. The lineup was immaculate. The vibes were immaculate. The crowd was great. It was just an amazing time. Plenty of space. Nobody got stupid except for like when they did the Playboy Cardi set, but I was at another stage, so I missed that completely. But for the most part, that's one of the best festivals I have ever been to. It was one of my first big festivals, so it set the bar. Please, who do I talk to get them to do this another year? Because, honey, I was locked in, like, ready to make that my annual festival. As far as concert experiences go, one of the best was Rock Marciano at Sony Hall, December 23rd, 2019. I will always remember that. That was a night to remember. I keep saying it and I'm not exaggerating. If you missed it, you missed it, because that was one hell of a night. He had Q-Tip, who gave us like the phrase for the year, which was 2020 plenty money. I will never forget that. That really stuck with me before he got off the stage. But that was just a night. The place was packed. We was in that bitch rocking. It was a vibe. Like that was one of the best concerts that I had been to and forever. Did not care that it was like the day before Christmas Eve. We still made the journey like up to New York and didn't stay, like went to the concert and turned around and drove back to Virginia. I'll never ever regret that night. Hope he was tired as shit because I was supposed to drive back but didn't. But it was an experience. I don't really listen to the radio. I haven't in a long time, so I don't really find a lot of music that way. As far as streaming goes, I have found a lot of good music through streaming services, really namely like Playlist. And then too, like whenever I'm watching TV, I do miss Insecure for that reason, because I used to get a lot of music from Insecure, strangely enough. I also like learning about new music through word of mouth. My love language is sharing new music. I also look on Apple, they have a feature like you can see what your friends are listening to. I be stalking and seeing what y'all listening to. I don't know if this qualifies, but My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, I don't know, it was a movie, long music video, who knows? But I remember when this came out, I just thought it was shot so beautifully. I felt like the video had all of this beautiful imagery, so much symbolism, and again, it got conversations going about what he was trying to say in some of the visuals, what was the meaning of, you know, certain things. And I like art that gets people talking, that opens discussion, leaves interpretation. I'm not a makeup artist, but I have been a makeup enthusiast since 2017. I started out learning how to do makeup by watching Super from Crayon Case, Soso Chanel, and Lisa P on their Facebook Lives, and then watching Jackie on YouTube and IG, because there was a time where she would like post her routines and stuff on Instagram. That is how I learned makeup, really more so from Jackie, because she's closer to my skin tone. So while I was kind of learning technique and stuff from like Soso Chanel and Lisa, I was more so like going to Jackie to get like what kind of color should I be using if I'm going to use these techniques. And then eventually I just jumped in where Jackie just became like the go-to for everything makeup, because I knew whatever she was going to show me, whatever I was going to see was going to be something, maybe not my exact color, but I could get closer to it. It is Danessa Myricks Beauty. Not only is her brand innovative, it is incredibly beginner friendly. You can buy like 1 tube of Colorfix and end up using that for your eyes, cheeks, and lips. So if you don't have a lot of money but you got $20, get you a bottle of Colorfix. And depending on what colors you get, you can even use those as like concealer or whatever the case may be. So for $40, you could get maybe 2 products that'll help you. When we talk about innovation, not only are the products innovative, the packaging is too. This Lightwork 6 palette, I don't know if they do awards like for cosmetic innovation, but this palette should win an award. The whole palette I just showed you can go into this little bag stacked up with a mirror on top for traveling. So yeah, Danessa Myricks, I love her products. Everything is super, super versatile. Let's get to another question. What is your favorite makeup tip? Well, I'm getting ready to show it to you right now. This tip I got from Jackie Asamoah, and it has changed my under eye routine immensely, but it's pressed powder and then follow up with setting powder for a really flawless looking under eye. I use the Pat McGrath pressed powder, and I'm just gonna press that into. This tip has made such a big difference in my under eye, like the creasing, the separations. So another one of my favorite makeup tips comes from makeup artist Ruth Davis. I've also tagged her Instagram down in the description. Her tip was, after you've applied your skin prep, like your moisturizers and stuff, let that sit for 15 minutes before you even let a stitch of makeup, primer, anything touch your face. Like that really changed the staying power of my makeup. All right, now I'm gonna set the rest of my face with the Charlotte Tilbury pressed powder and answer another question. That's a tough one. That is a tough one. I'm gonna say I can't live without my Danessa Myricks Blooming Romance palette. Namely because that's the palette I do my brows with, and even if I don't do a full face, I'm gonna, at the very minimum, make sure my brows are cute. So I have to have that palette. Plus, you can also use, I told you, versatility. I can also use that palette for like eyeliner, an eyeshadow, and a lip. Second is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Tint. I can't live without that. Literally the best skin tint. For like my work day, my little everyday, I do like a natural look. I like using the Morphe Gilded Desert palette. It has a lot of good like neutral tones in it. So that's like my go-to for when I just want natural makeup. Now that being said, bring back 2016 makeup. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I'm tired of clean girl makeup. Even for myself, I'm gonna try not to shoot another tutorial with a neutral look, because I feel like I'm contributing to the problem. We have enough of those. We're overloaded on that. Bring back the artistry, the color. It didn't have to be cut creases, but it's okay to do an orange eyeshadow look. And I've started really like flocking it towards like makeup artists or following makeup artists that are still using color in their looks. But yeah, I like a neutral look. I love it for work. I love it for, you know, just on the here and there. But when I step out, bold. Everything is gonna be something. The eyes gonna be popping. What is your favorite makeup brush? I don't never have one favorite or nothing. I got a couple. I can show you right now because I just used it. The Sephora Pro Concealer 71 brush. I love it because this brush has like that flat, don't look at me like an old school YouTuber. It has that like angled under eye, like I call it a cat paw, and it's just really good for like getting up under your eye. Another one of my favorite brushes, this is the My Kitco My Small Shadow Brush. It's the My Kitco 1.5. Again, I have like smaller eyes, so I just love this brush because it it's dense, but it also, like, the bristles are a little fluffy at the end, so you can kind of get a little blend action if you turn it this way. A staple. And a late entry to my favorite brushes. This is the Morphe M760 long nail girlies. This brush, if you want to call it that, is for us. It has like a little silicone tip, and you can use it to gather glitter. I struggle with getting like a clean swipe with having nails this long, so this has been like a lifesaver. But those are my 3 favorite brushes. Probably my Danessa Myricks and Pat McGrath palettes, because they are a bit pricey. Pat McGrath's palette is very much so worth it. The color payoff cannot be beat. If you're looking for like glitter, like a soft glitter, that's what you're gonna get with that palette. So I love my Pat McGrath palette. Danessa Myricks palette, I don't mind spending so much on, because like I said, the Groundworks palette I think was like 130, 140. It was over 100. But I'm able to, like I said, use the products in there 3 different ways. So sometimes it serves as an eyeshadow palette, sometimes it's for my brows, sometimes it's a lip palette. So I'm getting a lot of uses out of it. The Lightwork 6 palette was also another splurge for me. All right, so it is lip combo time. Not too much on my lips. I'm just using some loose setting powder. This is the color Sugar Cookie from Huda Beauty to just kind of soak up any oils and make this a real neutral area. It is how I prep my lips. Make sure too your lips have been moisturized and aren't flaky when you do this, because if not, it's coming up. Let's get into the last and final question. And this is appropriate seeing that we are on the lip combo. If you could give one makeup tip to your younger self, what would it be? Lip liner. Oh my goodness, I have so many pictures where I just slapped the lipstick on, no lip liner, no nothing. I was wearing, y'all know MAC heroin, raw, just on the lips. No liner, no nothing. And I looked insane in every one of my pictures. All right, so that's where we got. I love this pencil so bad. One of the best purchases. Now, do a little bit of like a pinkish brown color. I like to keep the lip to a dull minimum when I have a real glittery or bold eye, because when I start using like pinks and doing like a really wild lip combo, it always ends up looking like clownish. I don't know no other way to put it. So I am using MAC lipstick, and this is in the shade Cream in Your Coffee. It's like a, like I said, a brownish pink.
These bitches too possessed. They always put a 5 on it. Been a trooper stretching. Legend is Zelda.
I'm gonna go around, you know, I like a little glossy gloss to it. I'm gonna go back around with the NYX Lava Cake. I like it. Nice neutral type of lip. I might have to just run this lip combo backwards. All right, Saints and Aints, this is our first look of the new year, and it turned out phenomenal, if I may say so myself. I really enjoyed answering all of your questions, and I hope it gave you a chance to know more about me and about this channel. And if you like what you saw, if you like what you heard, don't forget to like and subscribe, and because there will be more episodes in 2025. Until next time, Saints and Aints, love you. Bye.